Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah, Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah.
In alhamdulillah wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. Welcome to our hadith class. And today's hadith class, we're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to just read the hadith directly from out of the book because unfortunately I didn't have time to prepare the PowerPoint because of the other classes that we've had today. But we are, alhamdulillah, we're on hadith number 10, the hadith number 10 from the book entitled 55 Hadiths on Islamic Behavior and Discipline. Hadith number 11. And this hadith has to deal with giving advice. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, none of you will have faith until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. Is that a coincidence, Sister Amina Fresno? Amina Fresno, I just picked up the book and did not know that this was the hadith for today. See how Allah is in control. Okay, so this is a very, very popular hadith that a lot of Muslims don't understand the meaning of. You know, when the Prophet said, you will never have faith until you love for your brother what you love for yourself, a lot of Muslims think that this means that you're supposed to give another Muslim everything that you have, your money, your car, your wife even. That's not what this is talking about. And that's why I love that Sheikh Atlee did this book, because all the hadiths in this book are taken from the authentic Sittah. And all of these hadiths deal with Islamic behavior and discipline. So when the Prophet is speaking about loving for your brother what you're loving for yourself, he's speaking about the way we treat people. He's not saying that you have to take the shirt off your back and you suffer as a result and go naked to appease someone else. He's talking about do unto other people how you'd have them to do. And let's look at the lessons learned here. Islam, look at the first lesson. Islam teaches us to care for our community members as we care for ourselves. Again, this is speaking about behavior. The way you want people to view you, that's how you should view them. You wouldn't want people hurting you, hurting your family, you know, taking from you, taking from your family. So you're going to respect them as well. Also, we learn from this hadith that part of wishing for others what you wish for yourself is wanting others to have the knowledge and the guidance that you have. And that's why, I have devoted my life to being a da'iyah. I want to call the people, the American people, to Islam in its truthfulness with the understanding of the companions. To do away with the misconceptions that American Muslims have about Islam because they lack the ability to speak a certain language, or they haven't been formally educated by a true scholar of this religion. So we learn from this hadith that if you really want the best for others, you should also, first of all, want them to have a good understanding of this deen. And also we learn from this hadith that whatever a Muslim hates for himself, he should hate it for his brother. And I really hope everybody is looking in this book, because Sheikh Atlee has given the meaning. And the meaning that he's given is what all the scholars of hadith agree to. Myself, Sheikh Morsi, we all would agree to this. This is what these hadiths mean. They're talking about discipline and behavior, not giving people my food and my money, and I don't have no money or food for myself. Okay? So if you don't like people making fun of you, then you shouldn't make fun of others. If you don't like people calling you names, bad names, then you shouldn't call them bad names either. Again, this hadith is all focusing on treatment, behavior, how you treat others. Also, we learn from this hadith that the perfection of faith, in order to perfect your faith, you need to ensure that you wish good upon others. In other words, want the best for people. You don't want to be one of those people that's so jealous and envious of others. You don't want to see other people excel in life. You don't want to see other people succeed in life because you're miserable. You want everybody else to be miserable. No, want the best. I can use for an example here at this website. You know, all of us are going through trials because all of us are learning our deen. All of us are growing in our understanding of this religion. And whenever we grow as a Muslim, Allah is going to send greater trials to us. And most of the older women here, we're tested with our families, with our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. And I can remember, give you an example of this hadith. I remember making a statement to Sabrine one day. You know, I'm going through problems with my daughter. I'm going through problems with her. I can't get her to listen to me. But I pray to Allah, you know, that my lectures will benefit your daughter. That's an example of wishing good for others. Even though I'm having problems with my own children, I still want the best for Sabrine's. I look at Sabrine's daughter as if she's my own. I try to break my teachings down to, you know, to explain things to her as I would my own daughter. That's what this hadith is speaking about. Discipline, behavior. Also, we learn from this hadith that one of the benefits of implementing this hadith is that if all the Muslims lived by this, we would have a better society. Why is it that during the caliphate of Abu Bakr and during the caliphate of Umar, the Muslims were never, ever at that best, at a state better than that? Because first of all, this was right after the Prophet had died. Abu Bakr and Umar were the best of this nation. They were knowledgeable of the religion. They were strong in their faith. And they implemented these moralities amongst the people as the Prophet taught to them. Remember, the Prophet said, stick to my teachings and the way of my companions. And the first four leaders of this religion, because that's when we were at our best. Okay? So Abu Bakr, he implemented Ikrami Muslim and what it means during his caliphate. Umar implemented Ikrami Muslim. That's what this is called, guys. When you want for your brother what you want for yourself, the Arabic term for that is Ikrami Muslim. Wanting the best for my brother and sister in faith. And this is another example why I say we got to break down the meaning of these Arabic words. Because when you read this hadith in Arabic, they use Ikrami Muslim. Ikrami Muslim ain't got nothing to do with anything but behavior, how you treat others. I don't use Arabic with you guys, but that doesn't mean I don't know it. I do know a lot of the Fusha. You have to know some of the Fusha in order to teach, okay? But that's why as Muslims, we can't waste our time arguing with people who don't know. Because like the Prophet said, the ignorant people, they're not going to understand what you're saying. All they're going to do is hurt you. They're going to slander you. They're going to backbite you. And like my teacher, Sheikh Morsi told me, don't waste your time, Layla. All they're going to do is hate you, come after you. You're a female. You're by yourself. Don't waste your time with ignorant Muslims who don't understand this religion. They don't know the Arabic. They don't know the history. They don't know the hadiths. Let them take those hadiths and interpret them however they want. You teaching the truth on your website. They don't want to listen to you or follow you. That's their problem. You doing your job. And that's why I'm staying in my lane right here. But yes, economy Muslim has nothing to do with giving people what I got. It's talking about treating others the way you want to be treated. It's brotherhood in Islam. I got a whole series I did on economy Muslim, brotherhood and sisterhood. Allah sent down a whole surah of the Quran, Al-Hujurat. Why did Allah send down Al-Hujurat? It was to teach us how to live as economy Muslims, how to live together, wanting for each other what we want for ourselves, treating each other the way we want to be treated. This is behavior. This is one of the most powerful hadiths. But a lot of American Muslims don't understand it, like they don't understand the basics. Okay? So in other words, the prophet is telling us, treat other people the way you want them to treat you. During the Caliphate of Abu Bakr and Umar, the Muslims were close. The Muslims loved each other. They were united. They wanted for each other what they wanted for themselves, to the point where after the Prophet Muhammad died, Aisha and all the other wives of the Prophet got together and they apologized. The one that they treated the worst was Sophia. Aisha kissed Sophia's hands and said, I'm so sorry. I used to call you all kind of bad names. She used to use the B word with Sophia. She used to call her a dog all the time. She said, please forgive me. I want for you. You are my sister in faith. I want for you what I want for myself. I want Allah to forgive me for my shortcomings. So I'm asking you to forgive me too for what I've done to you. And Sophia said, we were young, we were silly, we were women. Don't you know I've already forgiven you, Aisha? And they became sisters, all the prophet's wives, even though they fought together during his lifetime. When he died, they became close. Ikrami Muslim, wanting the best for each other, supporting each other, helping each other, treating each other the way you want to be treated. So this is a very, very powerful hadith that we all need to teach our children the meaning of. I grew up on this. You know, my family emphasized Ikrami Muslim means to us. My community emphasized this. And to this day, the community that I am from, we're like one big family. Me, Mukhtar, all of us, we're family. We're family. You come after one, you coming after all. Together we stand, divided we fall. That's Ikrami Muslim. That's loving for your brother what you love for yourself. Now that I've explained the meaning of this hadith, who would like to start us off? Go ahead. Go ahead, Sabrina.
This hadith is very important because it brings to mind, I've heard that so many times, you should want for your brother what you want for yourself. And I have heard that, but I've heard it unfortunately in some negative ways. You know, like what you got, give it to me. You know, give it to me, take it off and give it to me and let it be mine. You know, or let me marry your wife. You know, or let me, you know, anything that was very negative. I've heard it in some very negative. I've seen brothers laugh about it like it was a joke, and it's not really a joke. It's very serious because it's something that we need to correct, especially in our community. Divide and conquer. Oh my goodness, we don't need to be separated any more than we have been. We need each other. We do. We need the unity. We need to come together as believers, because there's so many people out there that don't want to see us together, don't want to see us sticking together. Like I've heard so many times, you see Christians coming together, even though they're not nice to each other, but they'll come to each other and help each other and this and that. We gotta start thinking about the things that we may need. We might need help, or we may need someone to, you know, like what they can do. You know, it may be small, but it may not be. You know, it's just that we need to come together more. There's a lot of changes that we need to make in our communities with each other and in our families, starting with families, starting in our homes, starting with our children and other family members. I won't take up too much time. So,
exactly, guys. Yeah, so that's what it's about. It's about how we treat each other. You know, you want others to respect you, respect them. Respect is something that is not given, it's earned. You want people to trust you, then trust others. You don't want people to be suspicious of you. That's why Allah sent down El Hujurat. You don't want people to be suspicious of you, to backbite you, you know, to slander you. So don't do that to them. It's all about let's live together as a brotherhood, loving each other for the sake of Allah. This hadith goes hand in hand with loving for the sake of Allah, being able to bypass our personal feelings and instead look at each other and see the good in each other. Don't worry, it ain't got nothing to do with materialism. Materialism is shaitan anyway. Every Muslim should know that. When you got a shaitan in material urges, that's shaitan, okay? This hadith is speaking about getting along with each other. Okay, yes, go ahead, Sister Sahara.
Oh, this hadith actually like kind of relates to like what happened today. I'm kind of like stressing out and whatever, but like I try to ask for resources and stuff like that to help me with like my stressors or like if I need help with anything. And alhamdulillah, I have many like Muslim sisters who came through and helped me and gave me advice and stuff like that for school. And I really appreciated it because I was really freaking out. And I understand when a kafir tells me, oh, don't stress out, I'm like, it's different for you. When a Muslim tells me don't stress out, they actually help me with advice and they're like, you should do this. Like, if you're stressed out, like listen to some Quran, it can like help you relax or take a 5-minute break and stuff like that. Versus when a kafir tells me, they're like, oh, you'll be okay. And I'm like, that kind of helps. But when you hear from a Muslim, it hits a lot different and it becomes a lot more personal and it helps you a lot.
Exactly. And that's what this hadith is hitting on. You know, one of the things that keeps us strong against shaitan is each other. We advise one another. That's behavior. That's discipline. We advise one another. We encourage one another. We remind one another. We remind each other to never lose hope, to never give up. That's what this hadith is speaking about, wanting for your brother what you want for yourself, loving for yourself what you love for him. You want someone to be there for you when you're stressing out, to help pick you up, to remind you of as to what your purpose is. So you do be there for them. Again, nothing to do with finances. This ain't talking about no materialism. This is behavior and discipline. Yes, anyone else would like to share? And it's very hard, you know, to love for others what you love for yourself. This is why Allah loved the Ansar. And also the second part of this hadith is a long khutbah. All these hadiths are khutbahs. The Prophet was speaking in this hadith also about the Ansar. When the Prophet and his companions migrated to Medina, they left everything behind. You want to know what true brotherhood was? They left everything behind and went to a new city with new people. The Ansar welcomed them in. They shared their homes with them. They shared their food with them. They gave the Prophet his support. They didn't have any problems with the Quraysh. They weren't enemies with them, but they gave the Prophet Muhammad their support, their allegiance. They took him in as helpers and protectors. Because this is an example of wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. When you have been kicked out into the world alone, you want somebody to be there to help you, to support you. The Ansars were a great example of that. Yeah, so this is a wonderful hadith I want you all to ponder. Again, each and every one of us understand the Prophet said, you will never be a believer until you love for your brother what you would love for yourself. And also you have to hate for your brother what you would hate for yourself too. because the prophet also said when he spoke about this, just like love is a part of faith, hate is too. We have to do both for the sake of Allah. And then we'll be able to master doing it with each other. Okay, I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this session of our Hadith class. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.